Indonesia will start producing electric cars no later than May 2022. Good evening. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. The government planned to roll out a paid COVID-19 vaccination emerged again in a hearing with the House of Representatives. Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin said the ministry planned to offer a self-paid vaccine booster. Budi said that in the paid vaccine program, the public could choose which brand of COVID-19 vaccine they want to receive. The types of the vaccines to be offered are those that had received the emergency use authorization from WHO. Moreover, the minister emphasized that the paid COVID-19 vaccination plan will still be deliberated, including the procedure of the vaccine scheme. However, the government would still guarantee free vaccines for the people listed as the assistance recipients.
Nah, sisanya kita harapkan akan terbuka, ya, bisnis biasa, harga rakyat bisa membeli vaksinnya sendiri, gitu. Jenis vaksinnya nanti akan kita tentukan yang sudah mendapatkan emergency use dari WHO, dan orang-orang bisa memilih vaksinnya apa secara sama seperti beli obat di rumah, di apotek. Jadi ini akan kita buka pasarnya agar masyarakat bisa memilih.
The Coordinating Minister of Maritime Affairs and Investments revealed that the health sector investments are showing a lucrative potential, which motivates the government to form the Indonesia Health Tourism Board in order to boost medical tourism.
The Coordinating Minister of Maritime Affairs and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, in a statement on Wednesday, said that the health sector investments are showing lucrative potential, specifically medical tourism, which coincides with a growing awareness on public health. He mentioned investments in the health sector back in 2018 from major foreign direct investments such as Singapore, Australia, and China, which he argued motivated the government to form the Indonesia Health Tourism Board in order to develop health tourism. Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin also said that the government is simplifying the regulation overseeing medical tourism, such as the Indonesian Medical Council Regulation number 92/2021 on adapting Indonesian medical specialists who graduated from overseas establishments, and the revised Health Ministry Regulation number 67/2013 on utilization of health workers of foreign citizens. IDX Channel reports.
Indonesia's export in August 2021 was recorded to be the highest in history. Central Statistic Agency recorded exports of $21.42 billion, or higher than the previous record in August 2011, which amounted to $18.65 billion. The positive global economic recovery has made Indonesian exports experience a significant increase. Head of BPS Margo Yuwono revealed that export throughout August 2021 increased by 20.95% on a monthly basis, or an annual basis grew significantly by 64.1%. This growth was driven by increased export performance, both oil and gas category and non-oil and gas. Overall, Indonesia's export achievements in August 2021 were driven by the soaring value and volume of exports of palm oil and coal commodities.
Ini kalau kita lihat ya, dari sisi volume dan harga keduanya mengalami kenaikan. Jadi kenaikan ekspor besar itu karena kenaikan harga dan juga karena kenaikan volume. Jadi komoditas, sedangkan kalau dilihat komoditasnya yang tinggi itu adalah karena komoditas minyak sawit dan batu bara yang juga harganya itu secara internasional mengalami peningkatan.
Moving on to global update, President Joe Biden announced that the United States is forming a new Indo-Pacific security alliance with UK and Australia. Meanwhile, China's economy took a knock in August from stringent virus controls, fueling concerns about the global recovery. More stories on today's International Minute.
President Joe Biden announced that the United States is forming a new Indo-Pacific security alliance with Britain and Australia that will allow for greater sharing of defense capabilities, including helping equip Australia with nuclear-powered submarines. It's a move that could deepen a growing chasm in U.S.-China relations. The three announced they would quickly turn their attention to developing nuclear-powered submarines for Australia. SpaceX's first private flight straight into orbit Wednesday night with two contest winners, a healthcare worker and their rich sponsor, the most ambitious leap yet in space tourism. It was the first time a spacecraft circled Earth with an all-amateur crew and no professional astronauts. The Dragon capsule is looking to spend 3 days going around the planet from an unusually high orbit. Japan's exports rose 26% in August from a year earlier, below analysts' forecasts as supply chain disruptions hit manufacturers. The 6.6 trillion yen in exports compared with 5.2 trillion yen a year earlier, when the economy was just beginning to recover from the initial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The figures showed a trade deficit of 635 billion yen as imports surged nearly 45%. China's economy took a knock in August from stringent virus controls and tight curbs on property, fueling concerns about the global recovery as countries battle to get Delta outbreaks under control. Retail sales growth slowed to 2.5% from a year ago, much lower than 7% estimate in a Bloomberg survey of economists, as consumers cut back on spending during the summer holiday break. IDX Channel reports.
Market Headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Kini aplikasi mClears hadir di handphone Anda untuk memudahkan transaksi Anda. Informasi aktivitas clearing dan penjaminan tidak lagi hanya dapat diakses melalui komputer di kantor Anda, melainkan dapat diakses di mana saja dan kapan saja dalam genggaman Anda. Fitur-fitur mClears. Equity clearing dan settlement adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi kewajiban settlement anggota clearing hingga nilai alternate case settlement serta informasi gagal bayar. Risk management adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, kolateral, MKBD, portofolio harian, risk charge anggota clearing dan kombinasi, serta nilai minimum cash collateral. Derivatif adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, margin call, dan informasi clearing derivatif. Terkait pinjam-meminjam efek, terdapat fitur mengenai borrowing information dan lendable pool information, serta lending revenue dan borrowing fee. Serta menu lain yang menampilkan informasi mengenai haircut, risk charge saham, dan nilai harga penyelesaian harian dan harga penyelesaian final. Selain itu, Anda juga dapat mengakses fitur pengumuman, peraturan, dan informasi layanan KPEI pada aplikasi mClears. Download aplikasi mClears di App Store atau Google Play Store. Lakukan registrasi user Anda dengan menggunakan alamat email berdomain resmi yang sesuai dengan anggota clearing Anda. Setelah registrasi, Anda akan diberikan kode OTP di email Anda untuk verifikasi, dan aplikasi mClears Anda siap untuk digunakan. Anda dapat mengakses seluruh menu pada aplikasi mClears dengan melakukan aktivasi berlangganan premium yang dapat dilakukan dengan memilih menu Get Premium. Download aplikasinya sekarang, lakukan registrasi, dan dapatkan kemudahan dalam genggaman tangan Anda. Kemudahan informasi KPEI dalam genggaman Anda.
Welcome back. President Joko Widodo wants Indonesia to immediately get out of the status of a raw goods exporting country. This desire is pursued by accelerating the revitalization of processing industry, including through the construction of the first electric battery in Karawang, West Java.
President Joko Widodo wants Indonesia to quickly get out of the trap of raw goods exporting countries, even though Indonesia has long held this status for exporting raw natural resources such as coal and nickel.
Era kejayaan komoditas bahan mentah sudah berakhir dan kita harus berani mengubah struktur ekonomi yang selama ini berbasis komoditas untuk masuk ke hilirisasi, masuk ke industrialisasi, menjadi negara industri yang kuat. Strategi bisnis besar negara adalah keluar secepatnya dari jebakan negara pengekspor bahan mentah. Melepaskan ketergantungan pada produk-produk impor dengan mempercepat revitalisasi industri pengolahan. Pengembangan industri baterai juga akan meningkatkan daya tarik Indonesia sebagai negara tujuan investasi dari industri turunan yang menggunakan baterai, seperti investasi motor listrik, bus listrik, dan industri mobil listrik.
According to the President, this strategy can be carried out because Indonesia has abundant natural resources, one of which is nickel reserves, which are claimed to be the largest in the world. When processed into electric batteries, for example, the added value is estimated to increase by about 6 to 7 times. Meanwhile, if it is developed again into an electric car, the added value will increase 11 times. IDX Channel reports.
In the groundbreaking ceremony of electric battery factory in Karawang, West Java, the Minister of Investment, Bahlil Lahadalia, said that Indonesia will start producing electric cars no later than May 2022.
The Minister of Investment or Head of Investment Coordinating Board or BKPM, Bahlil Lahadalia, said Indonesia will start producing electric cars a maximum of May 2022. Bahlil explained that Hyundai will become a company that produces electric cars in Indonesia. The South Korean company has been investing since 2019.
Dan alhamdulillah tahap pertama mobil listrik yang kita tanda tangani di bulan November 2019, mulai pembangunannya di 2020 sekalipun pandemi Covid, total investasinya itu 1,5 billion US dollar atau setara dengan 21 triliun. 2022 bulan Mei paling lambat, insya Allah sudah produksi, Pak. Jadi mobilnya udah paten, Pak. Arahan Bapak Presiden dengan Pak Menko juga adalah bagaimana kita membangun hilirisasi. Jadi kita balik, Pak. MOU kemarin kami teken, dibantu oleh Pak Dubes Korea. Itu kita lakukan tangan total 9,8 billion. Ini adalah konsep investasi hilirisasi yang pertama, Pak.
Hyundai will also form a consortium consisting of the Hyundai Motor Company, Gia Corporations, Hyundai Mobis, and LG Energy Solution. The consortium will work with PT Industri Battery Indonesia or Indonesia Battery Corporations or IBC to build electric battery cell factory in Karawang, West Java. The battery cell facility will have a production capacity of 10 gigawatt-hour. Later, the battery will supply electric vehicles produced by Hyundai. IDX Channel reports.
Not only conveying the electric car production target, the Minister of Investment also promised to prioritize national interests in the downstreaming of the electric vehicle industry, including the absorption of domestic workers and raw materials.
Minister of Investment Bahlil Lahadalia promised to prioritize national interests in the downstreaming of the domestic electric motor vehicle industry. This includes employment absorption as stated in the MOU between Indonesia and Hyundai and LG –
5G, related to the battery-based electric motor vehicle program. Namun, Minister of Investment Bahlil Lahadalia said that Indonesia will start producing electric cars a maximum of May 2022.
Not only that, all components of battery manufacture in related factories will also be supplied from within the country. However, in the first 2 years, the company will still be allowed to import.
Bahwa di dalam MOU kami juga, kami sudah tekankan kepada mereka bahwa lapangan pekerjaan harus seluas-luasnya untuk lapangan pekerjaan dalam negeri. Tidak untuk luar negeri. Luar negeri boleh selama dia memenuhi spesifikasi khusus dan jabatan-jabatan tertentu. Dan waktu kami bicara dengan Menko-nya di Korea, Motie-nya sepakat bahwa lapangan pekerjaan akan diprioritaskan ke lapangan pekerjaan dalam negeri. 2 tahun pertama kita izinkan dulu untuk impor bahan baku, selebihnya kita akan ambil bahan bakunya dari dalam negeri sendiri.
Imports for the first 2 years are allowed because during that period, the supporting factories are still in the development stage, both smelters, precursors to the battery recycling industry. For information, the first battery factory in Indonesia is one of the commitments of South Korean companies, namely Hyundai and LG, worth $9.8 billion. IDX Channel reports.
Economic observers appreciate the government's step in downstreaming and industrializing by building an electric battery factory. With the presence of this factory, Indonesia is expected to have an important role in the global electric vehicle industry.
Korea Indonesia economist Muhammad Faisal assessed that the constructions of an electric battery factory using raw materials from nickel derivatives must continue to be strengthened. The existence of the factory is an important opportunity for Indonesia to be able to carry out the structural transformations, shifting from the commodity sector to manufacturing sector, which has high added value.
Ini bisa menjadi satu kesempatan yang sangat penting dan sangat berharga bagi Indonesia untuk bisa melakukan transformasi struktural, terutama dalam perekonomian dalam tataran makro, untuk beralih dari struktur ekonomi yang bergantung pada komoditas menjadi struktur ekonomi yang bergantung lebih berat kepada industri manufaktur.
Meanwhile, economic observer from the Center of Economic and Law Studies Bima Yudhistira said Indonesia will have a strategic role in electric car industry and new renewable energy with the existence of the electric vehicle battery factory. Bima added that the government should also be able to build electric car factories in the country. The more components that can be produced domestically, the less Indonesia's dependence on imports will be. IDX Channel reports.
Stay with us because Market Headlines will be right back after the break.
Awali hari Anda dengan beragam informasi bisnis terkini yang kami kemas dalam berita teraktual dan berkualitas. Power Breakfast, informasi terkini seputar ekonomi, bisnis, pasar modal, dan industri kreatif yang dikemas secara ringan. New Screen menyajikan informasi ekonomi, bisnis, dan keuangan. Market Headline menayangkan berita ekonomi dan bisnis dalam bahasa Inggris. Saksikan program-program berita ekonomi dan bisnis terkini langsung dari sumbernya, live hanya di IDX Channel. Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya, hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Dengan musik gitu, dengan film kita bisa berbagi apa yang kita rasakan.
Berapa lama sih latihannya?
Kalau nyanyi sih, I think kayaknya dari bangun tidur sampai mau tidur kayak nyanyi terus sambil makan.
Indonesia dipastikan sudah terlepas dari jurang resesi ekonomi setelah berhasil tumbuh positif.
Pemerintah melihat bahwa Q4 adalah potensi untuk kita membalikkan keadaan kembali. Kita memperkirakan.
Welcome back. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 6,125.49. Then approaching the closing time of a session, the index was on the level of 6,111.79. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,109.94. In short, JCI went down 0.01%. And next, we are going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got transportation and logistics went up 2.3%. Finance went up 0.44%. Meanwhile, technology went down 2.37%. And health sector went down 1.12%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights for today's trading session. Auto went up 0.68% to the level of 14,800 rupiah per share. Agro went up 6.96%. to the level of 2,460 rupiah per share. Friend went up 6.84% to the level of 125 rupiah per share. Kota went up 14.29% to the level of 240 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got BBRI went down 0.55% to the level of 3,640 rupiah per share. ANTM went down 3.21% to the level of 2,410 rupiah per share. Buka went down 1.72% to the level of 2,410 rupiah per share. INKP went down 3.32% to the level of 7,275 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at the level of 14,231 rupiah, was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar, was closed at the level of 14,224. In summary, rupiah went down 0.06%. In order to boost its performance, Telkom Indonesia is gradually building a hyperscale data center with a capacity of 75 megawatts. From calculations, Telkom has the potential to spend a total investment of $525 million to $675 for the data center project.
In order to boost its performance, Telkom Indonesia is gradually building a hyperscale data center with a capacity of 75 megawatts. According to the Director of Finance and Risk Management of Telkom, Heri Supriyadi, the company is targeting by the end of the year the installed capacity to reach 25 megawatt. However, the company has not been able to disclose the amount of the investment value dispersed. Meanwhile, Director of Strategic Portfolio Telkom Budi Setiawan Wijaya said the company has 26 data centers. Meanwhile, 21 are in Indonesia, while the other 5 are overseas, including Tier 3 and 4 data centers in Jurong, Singapore. The company will also build a hyperscale data center with Tier 3 and 4 classifications on an area of 6.5 hectares located near Jakarta. However, when referring to industrial prices, the cost of building a data center is around $7 million to $9 million per megawatt. Thus, Telkom has the potential to spend a total investment of $525 million to $675 million for the database. IDX Channel reports.
A subsidiary of Siam Cement Group, SCG Chemical, increased its shareholding in Chandra Asri Petrochemical through right issue. SCG bought 1.159 billion shares in Chandra Asri with the purchase price of 4,082 rupiah per share.
A subsidiary of Siam Cement Group, SCG Chemical, increased its shareholding in Chandra Asri Petrochemical through rights issue. Reporting from the information disclosure of the Indonesia Stock Exchange, SCG bought 1,159 billion shares in Chandra Asri. The purchase price of the shares is 4,082 rupiah per share. With this price, SCG Chemical is estimated to spend 4.73 trillion rupiah for this transaction. With this purchase, SCG Chemicals currently holds 6.61 billion shares of Chandra Asri, or equivalent to 30.57%. As it is known, the petrochemical company owned by Tycoon Prayogo Pangestu will issue 3.79 billion new shares through a rights issue. It is plain that the rights issue funds will be used for the construction of a new factory in the form of an integrated petrochemical complex CAP 2, which consists of a Maptok checker plant. With a rights issue price of 4,802 rupiah per share, TPIA has the potential to gain 15.48 trillion rupiah in the preemptive rights funds. IDX Channel reports.
Due to performance achievements in first semester, Gunung Raja Paksi revised its net profit target to $33.2 million by the end of 2021.
Steel producer Gunung Raja Paksi is preparing to improve its performance in the rest of this year. The company's net sales fell 5.89% year-on-year to $297.03 million in the first semester of 2021. However, the company managed to obtain a net profit of $22.62 million, even though in the first semester of 2020, the company suffered a net loss of $10.8 million. Gunung Raja Paksi's Director of Public Relations, Fedaus, said that the realization of net profit in the first semester of 2020 has exceeded expectations because this year, the company targets a net profit of $20 million. Thus, the management revised its net profit target to $33.2 million by the end of the year. The company also hopes that there will be an increase in net sales in the rest of the year. Meanwhile, to support performance, management is also still trying to complete the light section mill facility upgrade project. Work on the project is still on track according to the target and is expected to be completed in December 2021. IDX Channel reports.
Aside from market condition, as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on, here it is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news closed our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. We can get through this pandemic by staying disciplined, by wearing a face mask and doing the health protocol. I'm Wicky Adrian. Stay safe.
Halo pemirsa, kita kembali berjumpa